Hey guys, it's me Dave. It's 3/15/2022, so I thought I'd do a little video. I went to Frank's, called and all this stuff. We are in a catch-22, you guys. The perps are telling us not to complain about this, don't talk about this and all this stuff. It's your choice. There's a chance you could end up in the psych ward if you talk about this. We all know that. That's not the goal. I mean, that's the goal to discredit us. Yeah, they want to use that to discredit us, of course. But um, you know, we're in such a tough situation because it's a catch 22. You guys, if you talk about this, there's a chance we might get falsely diagnosed with the mental illness. And that's the way this program works. They would have a real problem if thousands and thousands of TIs went to the medical hospital and complained about this. They would have a big problem. And I think a lot of real TIs, they do complain about this. Some get locked up, some don't. It's just a chance you're going to have to take. It's just a chance. It's up to you. Um, you know, uh, I'm not afraid of getting locked up. That they can't scare me with that. They tried scaring me with being, go to the state hospital and all this stuff. I'm not afraid to go to the state hospital. I'm not afraid to get locked up. I'm not afraid of that. They can't scare me um, into doing that. They can't scare me with being arrested. Well, if you call 911 for help, you're going to be arrested for filing a false police report. Well, I'm not afraid to go to jail because I know it'll all be controlled. They can't scare me with any of this stuff because I don't care. I don't care. Okay. Now, when you look, okay, so now I just checked out my medical records. There's some stuff on there that wasn't on there before. Um, they will falsify our medical records. They will do that. Are they afraid of getting caught? Are they afraid of getting caught? You know, maybe they are more scared than we think. You know, I haven't seen big black SUVs around. There's been a little gang stalking around the house, not much. I mean, they got a few perps out there with their dogs, making our dogs bark and stuff, but there hasn't been heavy gang stalking around the house. And I've been trapped here with no vehicles, so here and there a little bit of gang stalking, but they have people over at the park, with their dogs and stuff, making Tanner bark like crazy. But it hasn't been real heavy. And I haven't seen any big black SUVs around in a long time. It's been a while. So, are they getting scared? Are they getting scared? I noticed some things on my medical records that I didn't agree with. I can't remember about. Okay, now I was born in 1973. Okay, they had something on my medical records that said I had anxiety disorder when I was 2 years old. Can you get that? How do you have anxiety disorder when you're 2 years old? When you're 2 years old, how do you get that? Now I asked my relatives about that and everything else, and they have no clue what they're talking about. There was another, this was quite a few years ago, saying that I had like depression disorder or some kind of disorder, depression. That is total BS. I've never felt depressed. I don't remember going to the doctor and talking about depression, and stuff like that. There are other things on my medical records that I don't agree with, that I can't remember about. They will falsify our medical records to make it look like we have a history of this stuff, you guys. to make it look like we have a history of this stuff. The way I see it, you guys, the way I see it is that this is all going to come out. This is all going to come out someday, you know. If these groups keep on hitting these people, and maybe they'll hit our perps next, they're going to start hitting big people that are responsible for this program. They're not afraid of anybody, and they are protected by somebody. It's secret. It's secret. I mean, they're a secret agency or something. They're protected. Okay, now this is the best shot we have. This is the best shot we have of bringing this out. Is this group? It's the best and only shot we have. I hate to say innocent people are going to be hit. Are they innocent? Maybe they're not innocent, you know. But this is the best shot we have at bringing this out. And then there's a committee that's formed, Republicans formed, doing, abuses from these agencies. The thing is, they can do whatever they want to us. That's a given. They can do whatever they want to us. Change our medical records, you know, in all this stuff. When you look at it as a whole, you know, you got diagnosed. All of us got diagnosed in 2014, 2015. You don't know stuff we've been falsely diagnosed with a mental illness because they're covering up their tracks. You know, it's a cover-up. We have proof of that, you guys. We have proof of that. We were able people working at good jobs and all this stuff, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, we have mental illness. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. You know? If this really was ever investigated, and we have proof of record with our medical records and all this stuff, this will come out. If Congress would really investigate this stuff, this will come out. We have proof. This dipshit, every time he's sending me to the hospital, he's giving me proof. The doctors are dumbfounded. They don't understand why my insides are burning, and it shows up on a CAT scan. They don't understand. They've never seen this bad heartburn before in their life. They don't understand. Because I was reading my medical records, I don't have any of the other symptoms. I'm not throwing up. I don't. There's a lot of other symptoms I don't have. You know, they're dumbfounded. They don't understand why the insides of my esophagus were burning. I have evidence that my insides were inflamed from these weapons, directed energy weapons, pulse microwave weapons. So each time this idiot sends me to the hospital and they find something wrong, that's evidence. You know? The thing is that I've been locked up 3 times, you guys, in the psych ward. I've been locked up 3 times in the psych ward. Okay. Falsely diagnosed, tortured the hell in that hospital. I was kept up for 11 days. They let me sleep 1 night out of 11 days. I was tortured horribly. And they were playing out skits 24/7 and everything else. They said they were going to tie me up to the back of a truck and drag me. They said they were going to shoot me up with heroin in an alleyway. Leave me for dead. I mean, they were doing all these things, putting the fear of death in you. And that's what they do in these programs. Even Duncan talks about that. You know? Former CIA, Robert Duncan, he talks about that. Talks about these programs. If anybody's new listening to this video. So, the thing is that we lived a normal life. We had relationships and jobs and girlfriends and family and everything else. And all of a sudden we got mental illness overnight. Overnight we got mental illness. Overnight. It doesn't make any sense. If this comes out and there's a record of this stuff, I'm leaving a paper trail. Every time I go to the doctor or I go to the hospital, I'm leaving a paper trail. And people don't understand why I'm feeling this way. So, the TIs that don't go to the doctor and report this, and, you're just you're letting them get away with it, is what you're doing. If you're just sitting there taking torture, you're not going to the doctor and getting evidence and all this stuff. There's some TIs that should go to the ER and they act like they're dying and everything else. They should go get help, Talk about this or don't. Make a trail, make a paper trail of it. It doesn't make any sense. You just don't get diagnosed some overnight, So the whole thing doesn't make sense, but they will falsify our medical records to make it look like, oh, you've been going through this for years. Oh, you've been going through this for years. If this was ever really, really, really investigated, this would come out. And we'd be able to prove that we're going through this. I was diagnosed in 2015, falsely diagnosed. Just overnight in my 40s. Overnight. I haven't went to the doctor 10 years before that. And all of a sudden I show up, I'm getting locked up in the psych ward overnight. Nobody heard about me before 10 years ago. It makes no sense. And they think they're covering their tracks. They're not. They're not covering their tracks. And me being in the psych ward, there's no record of it. There's no record of it. They didn't want a record of it. They're trying to ruin my credibility. But if this ever was investigated by a group, they would be able to tell this doesn't make sense. It doesn't look right. And you're competent. You're speaking normal. They could tell I don't have any mental illness. Never had mental illness in my life. I got my Class A license. You can't get your Class A license with mental illness. So, they think they're covering their tracks. They're not. Anybody can see through and can tell what's going on. Any normal mind, any normal person can tell what's going on. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. People don't understand it. The doctors are dumbfounded. They're like, we're just doing what we're told. It doesn't make any sense, you guys. So anyway, that's my video for tonight. I'm going to cut this off. I'll talk to you guys later.